shit. As you can see, there's actually light in this stairway now. It turns out all it took was a new bulb up there and a new bulb up there, swapped in some LEDs to replace the burnout incandescents, and now the switches work. There's a switch over here, another one down the stairs over here, and then this one and the next one up control the light bulb up at the top of the stairs. This floor, I was able to do some work. Well, I didn't do any work. I just cleaned it up, swept it. Turns out it's just some rotted wood, just as I expected. So I need to pull up the tile and the wood and see just how far that goes. Probably just got to replace this section of subfloor. Just kind of swept the debris into the bathroom for now. I did put my first hole in a wall. I was cleaning out the IT room. As you can see, it's a lot better now. Cable guys or internet guys coming tomorrow. Hopefully we can stick an ONT right there and my fiber will come in. It turns out this plug does not work. There's another one on this wall that does not work. And there's one here. It does work. And maybe you can see there's a couple wires just kind of chilling out all by themselves. I suspect they run over to the other plugs. But I suspect they're also unplugged for a reason, so I don't really want to screw with it too much. It'll be fairly easy to replace these once I tear out my bedroom and get that sorted. But I do have power for the ONT, so the internet can go up here. The other stuff can, the router, the fiber switch can all go up here, and I'll be set for rolling. But I was pushing shit out of here, pushing the dresser out of here, and it was sliding on its top down the stairs. And it's kind of hung up, and I just kind of kicked it a little, and the thing tipped right on over and punched a hole right in the wall and broke the switch. All right, guys, it's the end of day 3 at the house. I did a little bit of work yesterday. I was fooling around trying to swap out a whole bunch of light bulbs, incandescent bulbs for LEDs, and I was in my bedroom, and I went to go do this fixture, and I kept screwing and screwing and screwing at this knob right here, and it just kept going and going and going and just wasn't freaking stopping until it was driving me nuts. And then I went and I looked, and you can kind of see the whole fixture is just kind of dangling there. So I ended up not replacing the lights. I'm gonna just replace the whole fixture, see if I can find something cheap. There's a Restore down the road. Hopefully they got something there that'll work out for me. All right, over here we got the Cincinnati Bell installing symmetrical gigabit fiber. And we got the first dumpster showing up. Man, 30 yards just doesn't quite look big enough. But I guess we're gonna find out. All right, so the new washer is arriving today. The dryer is a few weeks behind, but the new washer is arriving today. And I went to remove the hoses, and I turned off the valve, which is underneath the sink. And I was happy that it didn't just snap off, but it did start leaking. So I went to the store, got the parts to replace the valve, came back, removed the thing, and started to drain the water system. I opened up this valve to drain the system, and it broke right off. Yep, so that's how that went. So I'm going to now go to the garage, get my Sawzall. I'm just gonna cut this whole tub out of here, leave stuff sticking up so that I got a place for the water to drain from the new washer. Got new hoses, got everything. I just need to do that. One of the important things before doing that is to make sure you take your water heater thing and at least flip it over to pilot. That way it can drain properly and there's no damage from it running while it's empty. After a bit of cutting, we got all this down. I just gotta drag it outside. Got that tangle of pipes all sorted somewhat, and then we got these sticking out. I'm just gonna put the new valves straight on there, and that should make life a little bit easier for now. Eventually I'll add a sink back, but for now, this'll do. All right, I've got all this gone. I have the gas line disconnected, need to unhook the vent. I'm gonna save the gas line so that if I have any trouble finding the right one, I'll have what I need. But man, it's dirty under there. A few of these tiles have been popping off with just the plastic shovel that I found. So I'm gonna continue to see what all pops off. This is the filter on the shop vac from just cleaning this laundry room and the mud room upstairs. It's an impressive amount of dirt and dust in this place, but I'm trying to hit every wall, trying to get everything. This is looking better, much better already. Getting the floors done, got that stub sticking up there. Just trying to get everything I can clean. All right, so basic workflow here is we're going to sand these ends off here, make them all nice and shiny new looking. A little bit more than that. And then after this, I'm going to hit them with some flux. Put some flux inside the adapter that I'm plugging in here. Then put them together, heat them up, hit them with some solder, just like you would a wire. Let them cool. I don't have a spray bottle. Otherwise, one of the little tricks to make a nice, neat looking joint is to spray it with water right after you solder it. And then you end up with something that doesn't look like that. You end up with something nice and neat and clean looking. More like this joint here. So I'm gonna have an ugly joint, but that's just a thing I got to live with. Eventually, because of where I'm putting these valves, I'm gonna have to remove them and add new valves in when I put the sink back in and all that good, clean fun. So this is just a temporary fix, and it's a cheap one. My connectors are on. When turning the water back on, what I do is I just turn on a little bit to get the water flowing, and then I open up various faucets and stuff on different levels and kind of work my way from the basement up to the top and let them kind of burp air. And with the water not on all the way, it kind of keeps the pressure low. It keeps from hammering bad old joints and old knobs like this one and whatnot. So hopefully nothing else fails as it turns on. Then once I think all the air is purged, then I go ahead and turn it on full blast. Everything's holding up fine. Did a decent job with the joints. They're gonna probably yellow a little bit over age, but certainly better looking than some of the older ones out here. And they're holding water, which is exactly what I needed. That's what caused this whole problem. So on to the next project. Hopefully the washer will show up any minute. All right, so this room is a lot better now. It's drier. I need to vacuum up that. Now that it's dry, a lot more will come up, but it's a lot cleaner. I literally use the scrub brush setting attachment on the vacuum and scrub the walls, the floor, the ceiling. I need to take down these old clotheslines that are up here and then they can go away. I'll put some new ones in temporarily until I get the dryer. But the dryer's in. I got a leak. It appears that it came from this joint here. So I snugged it up a little bit more. Worst case is I had to get a pipe wrench and just remove all this, replace it with something new. But that's a relatively easy fix. I found a really awesome True Value down the road, so that kind of stuff would be super great to do down there. But that's in. This, I already ran the first load on it. Worked beautifully, exactly like you expect a Speed Queen to work. It's a lot cleaner over there. It turns out those old plungers, they were so stiff they broke when I attempted to just swish them around. I got a few more things to take off the wall. It looks like this goes on here. What I'm not really sure about is why water is going into that. It might be a humidifier for the house, which, I don't know, man. It's pretty goddamn humid here. I don't know why you'd want to make it more humid. If anything, you should need a dehumidifier there. I was super annoyed by this. When having the appliances delivered, they agreed
They're taking the old ones away. They were going to put them in, and the guy insisted that there's no way possible for the stove to fit into the kitchen. And if you just take these measurements that you're looking at right now, you're absolutely right. It will not fit. But when you look at this, they all slide underneath the counter there. They fit just fine. I had the new stove into the old stove spot within 5 minutes of the guy leaving. He just wanted nothing of it. He didn't care.
All right, back into the everything is easy category. We've got, this is the old gas fitting for the old stove. It fits here. Spin a Rooney right into there. This is the new gas line, and the fittings are too small. So, off to the hardware store again to figure out what the solution for this is. All right, so we got hooked up with the gas. We just ended up using a reducer with a nipple on the end to plug into the existing valve. And then we use the line that came with the range, and she fires up beautifully. Whereas the old one just kind of spewed gas everywhere and didn't actually light anything. So I was able to scratch the bottom of this with a real spatula, but my Lodge cast iron griddle fits right on top of it. It'll probably take a little bit longer to heat up than it would if it was just this. But it'll have all the durability of cast iron. It fits perfectly. This is one of those things that I'll probably just never have to actually leave the stove, and that's perfect. The other thing I have to do now is level it. I knew about this dent before I bought it. I knew about these before I bought it. Someone drew on it. I don't know. I just gotta wash it though, and we're set. I got a great discount on it because it was dented, and it'll last me until it's time to redo the entire kitchen. So it's perfect. All right, guys, I did a stupid thing. When I recorded this video, I forgot to check to make sure I was on video mode. Instead, I was on time-lapse mode. So instead of Nancy here from Talk of the Town telling us about her business, it's all gone. There's no audio. It's a time-lapse. But she's from Talk of the Town. She's a local Cincinnati vintage clothing shop. She came in. She took a look at pretty much everything I had. She took what was still salvageable and what would sell to people, and what could be cleaned up. And she took an entire pickup truck load of stuff and barely made a dent in what I had here at the house. And her son was helping her move stuff around and get stuff to her so she could check it out. And he actually ended up moving a bunch of stuff from the upper bedrooms into the lower bedrooms. Some stuff that would save labor the next couple days. But unfortunately, I don't have her telling us about it. So I'm going to include a link to her Facebook page down below. And if you're in town, go check her out, say hi, and buy something from her. This is the other stupid thing I did this week. This is a good lesson in trust but verify. The day I looked at the house, we saw this, and the comment was, "Oh, it looks like the old microwave fell down." And several times over the next couple weeks, it was mentioned over a couple times that it was a microwave. I didn't think anything of it, so when I went and grabbed this crowbar to remove it, I was expecting the microwave to fall down, the power cable to pop out of the wall, and for me to just lug the thing up onto a handcart and pull it out of the house. What I didn't do was I didn't check it to see what was actually going on. I'm going to let that play out here for a second. Shit. What you heard in the background was gas. It turns out this is actually a gas-powered toaster oven, not a microwave. And so there's a gas line coming up out of the bottom of that opening there, and I ripped that in half, and the thing came crashing to the ground, gas spewing everywhere. But it only took me about 15 seconds to get to the shut-off valve and get it turned off. Moments after this happened, my boss dropped by, and I showed him what happened, and then later in the day he went and he got a 1/2-inch pipe cap, and I took the opportunity to teach the teenage kids how to solder up a copper joint. So hopefully they learned a skill that'll save them some money in the future. And then we spent a bunch of time clearing stuff out of the garage and clearing stuff out of the house. Here I'm destroying a dresser that was pulled out of the garage. need help? There's a problem trying to get it like this. When it's circular, well, I don't know if circular is circular. We control that. So we've completely filled the first dumpster. I can fit another bag or two here and there, but for the most part, it's completely full. And we barely made a dent. Well, we made more than a dent. Had to sweep up the driveway after the mess we made. But we got, this room is significantly more full than it was before. Mostly because once the dumpster was getting full, we just started throwing stuff here so that hopefully I don't have to pay someone to help me clear this place out when the next dumpster arrives. I guess I'll swap them out tomorrow. We didn't do anything in the basement. This is crazy. Didn't do anything in the basement. We didn't touch either of these rooms. This is a little bit less stuff because of Nancy from Talk of the Town taking some stuff. But she actually did leave it. There's probably about the same amount of clothes because her son helped her and he brought clothes from downstairs into this room so she could sort them out. Same deal with this room. It's a little bit better, not a lot better, because there's just so much stuff here. We go up the stairs, you can hear the fan running. This room is so much better. So much better. Significantly less stuff. I can move that by myself. I could probably move all this by myself. I have problems working right now. You can kind of see in the light the scarring here on my thumb. I can't really grab things right now because of a table saw accident. I'm getting better, getting close to healed. This room looks significantly better. Holy shit, I didn't notice the clown. That's kind of creepy. Interesting. This room is better. This room, its closet, is better. For the most part, I'll be able to just take boxes myself, get rid of them. And the IT room is better. You can see I added some motion lights. They're battery powered. So this stuff here is mine. I added it. This is the Quick Network. We have the UPS in the bottom, a couple RAID arrays, a couple Mac Minis, Ubiquiti UDM Pro, a couple of patch panels, and a Ubiquiti 48-port switch, the Pro version, 3 Raspberry Pis. 2 of them are doing Pi-hole duty. The other one can't. I don't have a purpose for it at the moment. It used to be the Unify controller, but I don't need that anymore with UDM Pro. Then I have a KVM and a Drobo. And I get about 90 minutes on that battery backup. This is gonna go, that's gonna go. This closet, no, I knew there were clothes. I didn't know there were 2 rows of clothes here. Golly, the stuff just keeps going and going and going. I didn't know that there was a door, little hatch there. This vent I can shorten and bring it up to here. It's the heater duct. And then I can take all these walls out. They're just screwed onto the existing plaster. I can take all these shelves out, and then I'll have a nice big IT room. All right, we had the kids out. I swept this morning, cleaned up some here. There's a lot less stuff in here now. This did not fit in the dumpster. I need to get an appliance disposal place to get that. Get this. Again, I'm gonna keep those as parts washers. I paid the kids an extra 20 bucks a head if they could come in here and get all of the furniture out of here. So this room is ready for me to tackle when I tear down the walls and get to it.